Today gamers, we're back with some Remnant 2 content, and this time we're going to be going over the must-have traits, the best ones in the game for your characters and your builds. So if that interests you, stay tuned. That's coming up next. Welcome back everyone. Today we're going to be taking a look at the traits that you can get to put on your builds. Each point is going to help you in some way, shape or form, but which ones are the best to get hold of and why should you be putting them on? Now I have labelled this as a top 10, but ultimately I have chucked a few honourable mentions on at the end because there's quite a few that are still worth investing in. The first one, and one that I would say almost every single class, character, anyone who's playing a game should invest in, is going to be Vigour. This at max level is going to give you 30 extra points of health. You start off with 100, so it's pretty much a straight 30% increase when it's maxed out, and it's really going to make your life a whole bunch easier because sometimes, especially at later levels, they tend to hit you very hard. Next up, and we have Endurance. Once this one's maxed out, it's going to give you 30 stamina, and trust me, being able to use those extra swings with your melee or being able to roll out of terrible situations is just going to make your life a whole bunch easier. So anytime you can have a little bit of extra stamina, it's going to come in very, very handy. Over to Spirit, and this time we're going to be looking at A.O.E in order to increase our mod generation. When you max this out, so you've chucked 10 points into this, you're going to get 20% extra mod generation, and if you've got some really powerful mods on, this can really help your build out, making you able to use them a lot more often than you originally would have. Over to Expertise, this one again is going to allow you to use things a little bit more often, but this time it's going to reduce your skill cooldown once it's maxed out by 20%, allowing you to spam those skills much more often than you originally would have been able to. Another one that's absolutely amazing in any single build, being able to move around can mean the difference between life and death in this, and swiftness works absolutely ideal for that. If you invest fully into this, maxed out is going to increase your movement speed by 15%. This can really help you out, whether to get into battle, out of battle, or just to run away to live another day. Speaking of living another day, next up we've got Triage. This is going to increase all healing done by 50% if you manage to fully max it out. Trust me, if you've played the medic class, you'll realise that this is actually a complete lifesaver, and when it applies to your relics, you can really see the difference, especially on some of the better ones. So if you want to survive, Triage can be one of the best traits in the game. Another one that is definitely worth having is going to be your ammo reserves. If you're like me and you run out of ammo very often, then having this on can really make the difference with your weapons. If you've maxed it out, you're going to be able to get a massive increase to your ammo reserves by 50%, allowing you to shoot longer, stay in the battle longer, and just not be in a predicament where you've got no bullets and you've got to swap over to a weapon that might not be as strong as, say, your primary, or you may even be out of both. Another one, and a personal favourite that I try to put on almost every single build, is going to be Regrowth. This one is going to be your regen, it's going to help your health pop back up, and at max level it's going to give you 1.5 a second. It might not sound amazing, it's obviously it's not the highest amount, but the fact that you're getting that regen can really help you out and works alongside a lot of other things in your build, for example your relic. Another one, if you're after a tanky build, Strong Back is definitely something you want to look into. This one is going to reduce your encumbrance once it's maxed out at max level by a massive 10 points. It might not sound like much again, but it allows you to wear some of the heaviest armour in the game in the right circumstances and builds. Absolutely ideal for anyone who's maybe used to playing a bit more close range and wants a bit of tankiness or durability in their build. Fortify, definitely one that I have on whenever I can manage it. Again, it's going to work hand in hand with your armour, you're going to negate a bit more damage, and once this one's at level 10, it's going to increase your armour effectiveness by 50%. Another one that is absolutely amazing for tank builds, but also, to be fair, works in pretty much any build, because it is going to mitigate a little bit of damage and help you to survive overall. Now, even though those are the main 10, like I said, there are a few honourable mentions, and one of which is going to be Kinship. This one is your multiplayer go-to, but also, depending on your build and playstyle, it may well be one you want to put on. as it's going to reduce the friendly fire damage by 80%. This is ridiculously good in certain playstyles, especially if you're playing with friends and you're using something like a Star Shot or Firestorm, or even if you just want it for your own safety, because it does affect you as well. It means you're not going to fall over straight away if you're hit by your own weapon mod. Other than that, we've got Bark Skin, which is just amazing, works in every single build, 10% damage mitigation, nice and easy, well worth having on. And last but definitely not least, one of my favourite ones in the game is going to be Amplitude. Whenever you've got those AoEs going off, anything that has a kind of radius to it, this is going to boost that, and it's going to allow for a lot of extra damage to multiple targets. Most times this is well worth having on, but sometimes you do have to be a little bit careful, like what I said earlier with things such as Firestorm. Definitely a trait worth looking into though, especially if you like taking out multi-targets and you have some really nice mods or area damage in effect. Right, those are pretty much my top picks. Let me know in the comments if you think I've missed anything off, as no doubt there'll be a few people with a difference of opinion. But as always, for all things gaming, take care. I'll see you on the next day.